Hater, all our too. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Happy People TV Orlando Pirates fan channel. I am your host KB, and this is the Orlando Pirates news show, the Buccaneer brief. We've got a lot to get through today. We just happened to land on a gold mine of a here we go. Tshepang Moremi apparently has made the move, not a big move, not a getting close move. He has made the move to Soweto. And we also have other news. Mofokeng's Paps has come through in the news to talk about his future. I know he used to be his agent. I'm not sure if he still is right now, but he obviously has a big say in what he does in his career. And we also have the obvious news that you should know by now, how little Buccaneer, that we have signed a striker to compete with the likes of Mahopa and Mabasa, which is Mbutuma. We'll talk about what's happening with his deal and, just how he will fit in with the team and the likes. I think we do have one more story, but I'm already taken aback about the facts that we have confirmed news. And of course, I am joined by Mr. Coach, the technical director of the Happy People TV. How are you doing, Chief?
Hola, Braga. I'm actually feeling really good, bro. 2 days back-to-back deals. Let me thank my Buccaneer at home who are watching. Hope you guys are safe and enjoying the beginning of the weekend and the news over the last 2 days.
Yeah, dude. You know how it is. You never know what you're going to get. And as we don't have a, what do we call this, a coach right now, as you know, bro, you get excited by a signing, but at the same time, you can't exactly be excited by a signing. So, yeah, dude, that is how it is. Everybody tell me how the sound is, how everything is. We have been having technological issues. We are using a different machine, even though things might look similar and everything. That is why we have not been around, and we are getting back on track. So, Mr. Coach, do you want me to go straight into the Mofokeng news, or should we just get through the other things we need to get through so we can spend more time on the real thing? What would you like to tackle first?
Yeah, but okay, we haven't covered Mbutuma, we haven't covered Moremi, so let's finish off with that, because I think that we have a full conversation to have about both players. Let's cover the other stuff first, Mofokeng and the likes.
Okay, cool. Let's start off with Mofokeng. For Namfetu, that's a big one. You would know that you and I, you calling me crazy, you call me crazy, but you and I have had a bunch of offline discussions about the Mofokeng thing. I kind of believe that we still need certain circumstances for him to come or for him to bounce. Honestly, Mr. Coach, please tell the world whether you believe Mofokeng will be playing for us next season.
I'm glad you opened it like this, because off AM2 we have this discussion way too often. Like you said, I think you're crazy, but I genuinely believe Mofokeng is definitely leaving. I think we'll see him for the last time during the talk of Spain. And, if it even gets to a point where even in Spain you don't see him for all the games because of the move, I wouldn't be shocked. I think he has served his time in the PSL. He's proven himself above and beyond. So I think it'll be a complete injustice for a player of his talent to stay in the PSL again. And the fact that I can speak like that, I'm not even a scout. I'm just your everyday Buccaneer. I think the people whose job it is to scout these players have long identified Mofokeng, and it's about getting that deal done behind the scenes, whatever's going on. So, yeah, that's how I feel definitely about Mofokeng.
I just want to get that straight, Mr. Coach. You are saying that in the question that I ask of, do you feel like he'll be a Pirates player next season? You're saying, I feel like he definitely won't be playing. You also cited that it's got to do with your opinion that he shouldn't be playing in the Premier League, in the PSL next season. And you're saying, Hore, in your hunch, if you had to, make up, if you had to put your money on something, you are saying that what's happening is just that they're just choosing the right offer. They're going to go for gold. And if they don't get gold, they will go for what's reasonable to progress his career. Yeah, I hear you, Mr. Coach. And you're saying that's happening now, huh?
I believe in fact too. I wonder if we had like better journalists in the. Okay, first of all, I think if we had better journalists in the country, I don't think we have terrible ones. If we had like, if our scene was like the European scene, where you've got reports coming out of everywhere, and if our club that we love so much cared to communicate with us with once in a while, we would definitely know more at the moment. So
you say there are things happening. There are things happening, but we're just not hearing of them yet.
That's my opinion.
Okay, great. Let me get into the story then. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Please, before you get distracted, just don't forget to go ahead and hit the like, hit the subscribe, so you can be notified when we do release these videos, and share nama Buccaneer so we can grow the community. Mofokeng. According to gold.com, his father reveals his desire to see Orlando Pirates star leave for Europe. I don't want to see him in the PSL again, he says. The parents has, however, explained why he will not be happy for the 20-year-old Buccaneer to stay okay. He won't be happy if he goes to Saudi, but he wants him to go overseas. Okay, cool. Let me just okay. So Ntate's Tshepang Moremi has revealed his desire to see the Pirates youngster sign for a European club. He said that he wants to see his son leave the Premier League or the PSL as soon as possible and sign for any club in Europe, claiming that the youngster could play at several of the continent's biggest clubs. And so then he goes on to say, and I quote, "My biggest wish is to see Rille overseas in the 2025-26 season, and I'm praying every day. I don't want to see him in the Betway season, Premiership again this season. And I know God will answer my prayers." Anyway, in Spain, England, Netherlands, France, Denmark, and Switzerland, Rille can play. I believe that with all my heart. Take him to Barcelona, he can play. PSG, he can play. Any country, I'll be happy, but not Saudi Arabia. Not yet. He's still young. He needs to compete in UEFA competitions. If he goes to Saudi Arabia right now, he won't experience that. Yes, he'd be rich, but happiness is more important. You can have all the money in the world, but if you're not happy, it's worthless. Man cannot live on bread alone. That's right. Being one of the most promising young talents in the PSL, Mofokeng has been linked with the move away from Buccaneer, that's like Orlando Pirates. And Mofokeng, who was involved in the senior team that was constructed by Jose Rivero late in the 22-23 season, he has been linked with a number of clubs, including the mighty Barcelona. However, given how important he has been for Buccaneer, the Soweto Giants are likely to give a fight and make sure the youngster remains with the club for them one last season. His father's hope for a move abroad comes almost a month after Bafana head coach Hugo Broos cautioned Mofokeng and other youngsters from making rushed decisions to sign for European clubs. Apart from Mofokeng, Mbogazi and Nkota, the other Cocomelons who had a brilliant season last season and could attract major attention from overseas, Mr. Coach. Mr. Coach. So, Mr. Coach, that was good reading for me. It makes for good reading, especially especially the part where they say name of a king. When they basically gave Pirates a horse in the race to say, hooray, they'll also fight to keep his signature. There was also the other speculation that Maccabi Haifa were coming for him. And can you please just specify for me, Mr. Coach, Taba Elaya, the price tag put on him, is that Pirates' price tag on Mofokeng, or is it the negotiation amount that has come about in the negotiations with Abu, or let me say the inquiries from Abu and Maccabi Haifa?
And to be completely honest, bro, because one of the articles I read, I think it was Laduma, I can't remember for sure. One of them said that Orlando Pirates had set a price, $1.5 million, which does translate to that 31 million. But another one that I read today says that Pirates rejected a 31 million rand offer from Maccabi Haifa for the same player. So I don't want to lie, it's a little bit difficult to figure out exactly where that figure comes from. I would imagine it comes from from a bid, because I think Mofokeng is worth a little bit more than 31 million. So I would like to believe that there was the offer coming from Maccabi Haifa, but I do not want to come here and lie to anybody. So I'm not quite sure exactly where the number comes from.
I mean, yeah, like I guess it was a good question, because is that really the price tag? And at the same time, why is this number being mentioned? So I guess if it's a negotiation number, sure, it's okay. Curious to know, Mr. Coach, where would you like to see him move? And apparently you believe he will move. And I actually like the list actually that this Chaba actually put out on the countries. It's actually similar to the list that I've been speaking about that we've been using offline. And just before you answer, let me just read this comment from Upra Spoo. What's poppin', Mr. Spoo? He says, nothing would make me happier than seeing the kid move on. In my opinion, it would be the biggest achievement of the Jose project. That sounds beautiful. I will Spoo. Mr. Coach.
Very true. Yeah, bro. Asian Fetu, it's a little bit tricky because I am considering, the whole modern football thing. We all follow the English Premier League and we love it, but there's too much ruining of football happening there. I don't think a player of his talent and his abilities would be suited there. He'd end up playing too much into a system kind of thing, and I don't want to see that happen to him, especially at the kind of age. So I would personally rule out England. And once you've done that, in my opinion, the remaining countries in the Europe top 5 leagues, I don't know about Italy. I don't know, but again, the football is a little bit too physical there, a little bit too structured. So I would say Portugal, France, Spain, Belgium, Holland. Those are the 5 countries I think he would do really well at. It would work to his strengths. They could help him develop a little bit better. To be honest, he's kind of a complete player. I would love to see what there is developed there, apart from general just maturing over time. So I think, a league like Portugal, obviously it's not as competitive, but Portugal is also a very good stepping stone for him to get to Spain, because I believe that's where his talent really is going to be valued the most. In Spain and in France, those are my top 2, but Belgium gets him to the Champions League, and so does Holland if he plays for the right team. So teams that are centered around his type of football and youngsters. Well, countries are.
What about Club Brugge?
Belgium, yeah. I cite them
okay,
for sure.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. No, I think for myself, I think even in the Mofokeng video that I made earlier last year, I believe the league is important. So as long as it's top 5, and then the peripherals. I don't agree with Switzerland much at the moment, but I think Holland and maybe Belgium. But the most important thing is what kind of club is he going into. So if he's going into a Holland, but he's going to an Ajax and not a PSV, there's a big difference because, most of the big clubs in Holland are development kind of clubs, but PSG has that, Ajax has that thing to say, here we develop you so that we can sell you to a bigger club. And, maybe Atalanta, if you had to go to Italy. The Italian league is not the best, but at least we know that Atalanta is there to improve players and develop them. So, yes, sure. Mr. Coach. And now the last question I'll ask you on this subject, we'll expound upon this in other shows. Is he gone? Are we seeing him on the pitch ever again?
We'll see him in Spain during preseason.
Competitive game. Are we going to see him in a competitive game for Orlando Pirates ever again?
Never. It'll be an injustice. Okay, let me take away my emotions.
Yes.
Logically speaking, never money. He has skinned his last PSL player already.
Twice. And he skinned them twice. Hey, Mr. Coach, it's either you are going to make a lot of money or I'm going to make a lot of money in this year bet. But I believe that the boy, it's not a foregone conclusion. That's what I believe. It's not a foregone conclusion as yet. Okay, that is the Mofokeng thing. Do you have anything else to add on to the Mofokeng story? Saga, it's a saga.
I just want to put on my personal opinion that's not worth much in terms of his price tag. A 20-year-old complete player going to Europe who has played on the continent, I would personally, I think he's worth $5 million or euros. I think he's worth 5 million euros. So basically, in our currency, 100 million. That's all.
Okay, and I shall end it before we get into the meat and potatoes of today's Here We Go Buccaneer brief stream. I'm going to read the second comment, and this shall be a person that I take to war with me, and this is Thokozani M saying Againda really, and I and I Tango. Oh, wait. Let us go into this buffet too, ladies and gentlemen. Another signing has been officially confirmed. I want you guys to weigh in on the poll. Do you think he will be a good signing? Official club statement coming from KZN.
No.
Coming. No. Yeah, let me read it.
Do you think, bro?
Official club statement coming from KZN. It's a little bit smaller for me to see, but then I will zoom in with my eyes, and we extend our thanks to let me just see with Etiosa and Sfiso for their efforts during their time with us, and wish them success with their careers going forward. Amazulu FC can also confirm that the offer from Orlando Pirates to acquire the rights to midfielder Tshepang Moremi has been accepted. We wish Tshepang all the best as he embarks on a new chapter, a black and white chapter, says, I can't read that name, but I don't want to butcher it. And basically this is the official club statement coming from Amazulu. You guys can go ahead and read it. That it is official. Tshepang Moremi is a Pirate once and always. Mr. Coach, I would love to get your thoughts on this. I know that it's probably the third video that we've done on the Buccaneer brief about the boy, and he is finally here. I think this would be the time for you to just go over his profile one more time and just explain who he is, and obviously you'll give your opinion on whether the boy will be a good signing for the club and how.
Okay, yeah. Tshepang Moremi, 25. He turned 25 in October. He's a right-footed. He's right winger. He played the whole season on the right wing. I say that because we've come accustomed when someone is right-footed that they're more likely to play on the left-hand side. But he's been more of a traditional winger on the right-hand side. A speedy player. He's got some pace about him. I think one of the things that I want to cite specifically: 27 starts for the season out of the 29 appearances. And he's got 11 goal contributions, 7 of them being goals and 4 assists. I really like it when a member who's not a number 9 can get some goals. I think, and he was playing for Amazulu, so I think in a landscape like a Pirates could even get more. Got a lot of pace, got a lot of skills. Even Hugo Bruce gave him the nod for the national team. And to be honest, I trust Bruce's judgment. As soon as he calls a player up, I think there is something there, so I think it's by no fluke. When I think about it, honestly, he's got a very similar profile to Saleng. Just happens to be right-footed. Saleng is left-footed, and for me, it's quite telling. I did say in Veto Hore, we need about 3-4 wingers in this transfer window, and I'm happy that we've already spoken about 2. This one obviously being the person that's actually confirmed and final, as well. But the fact that Moremi played in the PSL, played at the level, and Amazulu had a very decent season, especially for their club. I think they finished 6th. They did really well. So I think it's a good acquisition. Is he a player that can replace Saleng? Honestly, is there anybody who can? So I don't want to put that too much on him. I think the only thing I would ask myself, I've been asking myself since it's been official, is that, okay, he's a right-footed and he plays on the right wing. What's the plan with Mkota exactly? What's going to happen is one of the...
Yeah, that's the interesting part. Yeah, very interesting, yeah.
is why I'm gonna jump to the left hand side. Again, because I assume Mofokeng was going to leave. I was already thinking, okay, Moremi. Until I saw the fact that he played on the right the whole season, I was thinking, okay, Moremi, right-footed, can actually go on the left, go replace Mofokeng on the left hand side, and have Nkota on the right hand side, and then we continue like that. But it'll be very interesting to see because he did most of his good work on the right hand side. He's more I'm saying he's a traditional player, traditional right winger, about Thapelo Maseka kind of profile, pace, balls into the box. So it will be really, really up to our coach who. Since our clubs had the Pirates, so we don't actually know what's going on. It'll be very interesting to see if this had anything to do with the coach. If the coach had any
What coach, Mr. Coach? What coach, Mr. Coach?
The fact that we don't even know if we have a coach. What if we have another coach?
I on to Mr. Coach. I on to Mr. Coach. Okay, yes. Okay,
sure.
Know,
everything's possible. So.
If they haven't announced a coach, that means we know that there isn't a coach.
No. We don't know nothing, bro.
Okay, cool.
Because I say this because this is now the second or third player that we can kind of be sure, and for fourth that we can be sure is coming to Pirates. Yet the club has said nothing. Bro. The only reason we know this is because of Amazulu releasing the statement. The same thing I named Tajela.
It's 10 o'clock in the night. Who's going to release news at that time?
Amazulu can't tell you.
Okay. Some comments on this matter. Mr. Chaos is in the comments. Mr. Chaos. He says, the more the merrier. Club World Cup, we need their status up the bucks. I don't know how Moremi is getting us into the Club World Cup, but big up. And then Usbu comes back to say, with the rumors of Nkota having interest in Belgium, we need the services of a player like Moremi. Not the greatest, but we can fine-tune him. I'd like to know, Mr. Smoo, when you say not the greatest, but we can fine-tune him, what do you think are his most glaring weaknesses? I'd like to know that from you. And then Mr. Chaos comes back to say, I'm worried about who can replace Mofokeng, though Bafetu.
One player in the whole country.
Who's that? Oh, yeah. Okay, sharp. Okay, yeah. I mean, we started there, but it is what it is. Plus, me, I don't even believe Mofokeng is going anyway. So, yeah, anyway. Let us carry on with this Tabaya Moremi. So, you're saying Hore Shapo Moremi, traditional right winger, right footed. So, what I got from what you said is that definitely he's going to be competition for Nkota, especially because he provides something different. So, what we know that is a fact is that I don't see a situation where we start with Nkota and then at the end of the day we take off Nkota and put somebody else on rather than Moremi. So I feel like it's going to be a good for the same way as with Mahopa and Mabasa. They are so polar opposite that at least you know that when you're putting on one, you're definitely changing the game. At least you know that you're getting something you didn't have before in that position. So I think that's what I like about his signing, being competition for somebody, but it's not a like for like. So unless he was one of the best ever, then it's oh, the more the merrier, like Mr. Kamo was saying. So yeah, bro.
I think the only thing there, just to touch on that, I think the only thing that Moremi can work on is his final product. I saw during the Bafana camp as well. Again, a very energetic player, but he just still lacks a little bit of that final product. Albeit, again, Fetu, 11 goal contributions in 27 games is decent.
From right wing on your right foot, it is pretty decent, yeah.
Yeah, and that's being modest. I think it's actually pretty good. So I think if he even polishes, and obviously he'll have a lot more chances on playing for a club like Pirates.
Yeah, I don't necessarily believe that, but I hear you. He's got more quality around him, Feed. Sure.
Yeah, that's where the chances come from. So I think we'll definitely get something. It's a great addition, Feed. So for me, what it does for me, to be completely honest, last season we had an issue here where we only had one player on the right-hand side because Saleng had these issues. So if we were to look at it purely like that, it's a great replacement. Now we have two players who are good enough to start on the right-hand side and compete for that position. So the right hand, if Vele Ogala on the right-hand side, Linkota, I believe we're done there because I don't think Nkosa can leave yet. He's not ready, in my opinion. He needs a minimum of one more season. He still has quite a number of things to work on. And even if I felt like he was closer, I think Namfetu, after one season, even if I get the call, if I'm Dr. Cause I get the call, came up with a straight or he's not for sale.
Not for sale, actually. Yeah, I know. I hear you. Lenas weighs in on that weakness issue. Just like Nkota Moremi doesn't look up enough. The pace is there and the skill is there, but he's borderline selfish because he runs with his head down like a Rashford kind. No, I could be wrong, but it's my view. But it kind of goes parallel with Mr. Coach because final ball means you must look up. It means you must look up to see whether you should shoot or you look up to see whether you should pass. And so head down players usually already, by the time they get the ball, they already have an idea. Is it I'm going to cut in and I'm going to shoot? If there's 5 men in front of me, I've already made my decision to cut in and shoot. And so I usually run into traffic. If I decide to cross, I'm going to cross whether there's anybody in the box. What's up?
We forget. Saleng is like that, bro. Saleng is not a pass too many times in the final third kind of player. You know what, fella? He scored so many goals that we stopped questioning him. Because Saleng, I remember, especially in his first season, the one that was so great, he would have those games where he has a number of opportunities. Not Adi waste, I wouldn't say, but he would shoot when he shouldn't be shooting and wouldn't be too keen to pass. I would question decision. Yeah, I never felt like I'm saying he was so good at what he did that every game he could still get a goal. And so the whole head down thing is not necessarily a bad thing for a forward player. It's just about learning timing. Because Linkota, it's a weapon that he can shoot, but it becomes a weapon against him if he does it all the time. So I'm not too worried about that. It's something that he can work on. Again, it'll take a good coach. It'll take a coach that knows how to develop a player or at least help him improve. So yeah, definitely enough in terms of a rough gem to work on. He's got the right ability.
That's dope, man. That's dope. And plus, Spoo concurs our facts coach. Saleng frustrated me a lot. So yeah, so with that point in mind, I would say if he comes short, he'll come short in quality, or he can still develop the head up thing and make sure it doesn't decrease the quality. But I feel like those are the two ways you can go. If you can be head down but have the quality to make something happen no matter what, or you can be head down and slowly pick your head up. I think a good example is Vinicius Jr. When he first got to Real Madrid. He knew that, you know what, there's this Benzema guy and I just need to get him the ball, which means I need to pick my head up. Yeah. So on. We'll see whether where it swings, because it sounds like he has, like you were saying, enough raw materials to get something going. And yes, that is the Moremi transfer update confirmed. Ding! Everything you want to say. I'm just going to actually go through the one article that I have about his supposed contract details. Let me just quickly actually get to that. But yeah, there is a rumor that somehow his contract details have been released. Let me see if I can find that quickly. And I mean, yeah, let's see what they're saying here. Let me quickly show it. Shapo. So, Moremi contract details at Pirates revealed. After the speculation about his future, Bafana attacker Tshepang Moremi has finally put pen to paper with a deal with Orlando Pirates. He has signed a 3-year deal at the age of 25 with Pirates after Amazulu gave him blessings to move to Gauteng next season. The Bafana Stars' initial contract with Usutu was due to expire in June next year, But now the Buccaneers have moved swiftly to tie the player to a 3-year contract with a 2-year extension option. The 24-year-old star joins the Soweto Giants on the 1st of July, is when he will actually, first get to the office. In time for the pre-season training in Spain, everything has been settled. Is a quote. I am quoting from him now, I believe. Everything has been settled. The player has signed for Pirates. He is a Buccaneer now. He will be traveling to Johannesburg next week to join the rest of his teammates in preparation for pre-season training in Spain, said the source. Okay, that was the source's words. Okay, sharp. Amazulu have also confirmed that they have accepted the offer from the Buccaneers for Moremi, which we just actually read. And Orlando Pirates have already signed.
Bro. Contract, we have the years. Don't read unnecessary things. There's a lot, but I don't want to look on Spani.
I know, but it's the last two paragraphs, feed.
Sure.
So yeah, and they just cite the fact that we basically have Kwaiba and Dooley in the preparations for next season, and yeah, they just talk about other players that we might be getting next. So yeah, I guess, how do you feel? 3 years, 24 years old, 2-year extension option. How do you feel about that deal? Good deal? Would
Standard,
you take
bro,
it?
Standard, I'm happy with it. I'm standard happy with it. I like that it's a 2-year option, which is actually standard in the PSL. So yeah, no, that contract is nothing special. It's actually very common. It's a good deal. Let's see how it goes, bro.
All right, cool. So with that, I actually remembered that we just have to go through the fact that Orlando Pirates will be going through the pre-season training, and I think we have a list of the opponents or something. What was it saying in that article?
Okay, so what we have is, first of all, we know when they will be in Spain, when the whole camp starts, which is on the 6th of July. And then we also have fixture dates, which is the first game against Bolton Wanderers on the 11th of July. And the second one that has been confirmed, get it 13th of July. I forgot the spelling of that team, but it's a team of Cyprus. They just won the league in Cyprus. So playing them on 13th of July.
Okay. Is that all our preseason ones, or is just that basically a wrap of the Spain tour?
I get those are the two ones we know of so far, and I want to drive this thing because I'm happy. The fact that we're finding out that we're playing against Bolton from Bolton. We're finding out that we're playing against is it Paeso? I forgot the name.
Yeah.
From them. None of these things come from outside. As far as Paris is concerned, we're still in June 16th. I'm not happy.
And that's all we have to know. Yeah, bro. I think it's Pafos, the name of the club. So, yeah, bro. I guess I'm kind of excited. Bolton is a good team to play against, bro. Are they in the championship right now, or have they been promoted or something? Championship. Do you think that's? Maybe I'm just excited because I know them.
It's a good test, bro. You know what I learned from our previous Spain tour? It's not necessarily just about the competition. It's about the conditions. It is hot in Marbella, bro. It is very hot. It's very tough for them to actually have to play, and those are things that we have to go through when we go play Champions League. Those conditions, albeit it's not going to give us a test their pitch. We're going to play at a beautiful stadium, but the heat and everything, it's a very good adaptation, and definitely playing against a club that you aren't necessarily going to spend weeks analyzing. It's a team that you're actually just going to pretty much face for the first time, and they're also a decent side from where they come from. I'm not too concerned. I'm actually very happy with what we get from those clubs. I mean, even last season, Spain, we played against Team Melaya. What was the name? I forgot the name now, but they were also championship side, and we got a good test from them as well. So I'm happy with the teams we've selected so far. It would be nice to have, just like last time, one mid to big team like a Sevilla that we had. Something like that would be great. I think it's always nice to have a team that you can measure yourself by, and when you beat them, it's not so much about it was a preseason game, but you were able to build that confidence. Yeah, we can beat anybody coming into the season. And we saw after that we went unbeaten in Spain last time, and that continued all the way until I think our 12th game domestically. So
yeah, true.
It really helps to get, you don't want to get a team that's going to batter us either. That's not good for anybody. But you also want to get some competition. So I think that's really good.
Yeah, I'd like to. Okay, you know what? Let me not get into too much of this. I think we're still gonna have time to discuss these fixtures and all of those things. So me, I'm a man of many questions. Let me leave this one alone. Let us get into Linda Mntambo. We have signed a striker to rival the likes of Makgopa and Mofokeng. Mntambo. Can you just go over his profile and how you think he will fit into the team, Mr. Coach?
First of all, very, very excited about Mbuthuma Mfethu. That's one, I can't wait to see him with the jersey, the press conference. I really look forward to it. And the reason for that is that Mutuma is striker, KP. We have one of those in the club that I've been able to trust all along Mfethu. Now you can't convince me on Makgopa anymore. So I'm very, very excited. Let me get into his profile. Mfethu. Mutuma gives you quite a lot that Makgopa gives you. He's got the stature. He's kind of a big boy, quite tall, but even so, he's very mobile. He moves around a lot. He finds himself in really good positions. In fact, so I like his movement. The stat sides just can be a little bit deceiving. I think he got 7 goal contributions all season, if not, somewhere around there. But there's so much more to him than what you see because he was playing for a smaller side. I think when he looks at a team like Pirates and Mfethu, who will create a lot more chances, who will be on the ball a lot more for him to be able to link up. His link-up play is really good. He's dope at, sometimes we can't necessarily play the combination, and because we're blessed with the centre-backs who can find our striker, it's dope to have somebody who can actually bring the ball down. Mbuthuma allows us, when the ball is played right there, he can bring it down into his number 10, whoever's close to support, and in seconds we can be in the final third within an actual shot. He's very good with link-up play. So I'm saying he's got all the attributes of Makgopa, and more importantly, he can strike a ball. He can actually finish. I like his finishing. I like his ball striking. I like his technique. I think, obviously, 23 years old, he can also improve. He's not I think it's 23. I could be wrong there, sorry. But I think he can also improve. Obviously, he's not perfect. He's not banging 20 goals a season. But I think under the right circumstances, for me, if he's playing with some, and we saw a little bit of that in the Bafana camp, actually, the game I think was against Mozambique. Not the best of oppositions, but when he has quality around him, because he had Mofokeng, Nkota, and Gwaiba around him, and he was able to link up with all of them, create the space. Sometimes he can draw the defense and leave the space for the other player. So, if you have someone like Mofokeng, not necessarily Mofokeng himself, but somebody that can actually get the ball to him, I think it can really be a great, great addition. I still believe our number one striker is and should be Mabasa. I think I will keep saying that what's been happening to him is an injustice, because I think Mabasa now has over 30 goals in 2 seasons, yet he still has to beg for starting position in the club. I don't know. But I genuinely believe Mabasa is our man, but Mabasa doesn't always have a good game or won't always get a goal. And Mbuthuma is a perfect alternative. Even if you're not starting Mabasa, you can start Mbuthuma. And because he can link up, you actually have the option therefore for 2. Again, but you actually can play with 2 strikers, because Mbuthuma is able to drop deep and collect the ball. And again, like I said, link up and then get on the attack on the other end of it. So for me, he brings something we don't have. He basically gives us the best of both worlds in terms of Mabasa and Makgopa. And I'm very
stop right there. Stop right there. Stop right there. He's 23. Makgopa is 25, 24, 25. Mabasa 28. Is this the signing to put them both on the bench?
It'll depend on the coach, but he can, bro. I will not scream at any coach that decides that he's my target man. I'm playing with him. He's my number one. I will not be complaining at all.
I know, I think we're lucky right now that we have, thank you for that analysis of him. I think he puts him really into perspective. It even created 1,000 questions within me. But I think what is nice, and the reason why I asked if he's the man that can put them both down, and another thing I just want to add on is that we have now 5 changes in football for the last, 7 years. I don't know how long it's been. But now that we have 5 changes, bro, I feel like there can always be, out of those 3 strikers, there can always be one that's liable to be left at home. And then there's 2 that will be in the game. Out of those 2, if Mbutuma fulfills the potential and goes on to pull up trees and everything, then it could be a thing it's okay. I'm going to play this style of play. This man is going to give me the best of both worlds. And behind him, I'll put the person that will give what I need in the second half for my plan B that I've created. So with Makgopa and Mabasa, it's like you can have a plan A with each of them, but your plan B will never work out because your plan A is so rigid for that striker that when you put on the other striker, you have to change the whole team for them, kind of thing. True. So if you build around a person who's best of both worlds, then you can just substitute him with whatever you're missing on the day. So it sounds like a fairy tale as I say it out loud, but that sounds like what we will be provided with, given that he can stay fit, given that he can be on form, given that he adapts to his teammates, and just like what Sbu said in this comment that I want to read out now, given that the coach can use him well. So Usbu says, stats aside, Mutuma has good feet, he's aggressive, and he agrees with you that the link-up play is dope. And his improvement is dependent on the coach that we end up appointing. And then Kamo also did say, Hore, I just hope his team hits back stronger than this team hits back stronger than last season. That is a can of worms of a conversation, to be honest. To be perfectly honest, that conversation is a whole can of worms because there are many factors. So, Mr. Coach, I believe pre-season tour, you said, officially starts on the 11th of June, yes?
On the 6th, we travel. Apparently, we'll be in Spain on the 6th. But before you go there, I want to hit one more thing, Mbutuma.
Sure.
The only challenge that he faces, the same challenge that everybody faces. Pirates is a big club, and the striker position is a high pressure position in Fetu. Stadium. So it's very important, like Spo was saying, for him to get backing from his coach and his teammates to allow him, if there is any transition that he needs, that he has all the support to have that transition and actually find his feet. But, if he is to just hit his level, his actual level, nothing else special, then already we have a huge opportunity there. And again, it mustn't be a situation like Mabasa that he was dealing with, where he can score 70 goals, Maram or Salang Makgopa starts the next game. Mutuma would need to be back. He can't be living in the Sharia Makgopa. He would have to also be given a chance. So if that's done, I think, we definitely have a lethal weapon in him.
Dope, bro. So you're saying the team travels on the 6th, first fixtures on the 11th? Or have I met? Okay.
Yeah.
And so the countdown, and reportedly, they are not stupid enough to go to Spain without a coach. And so we begin a countdown. We are... Ladies and gentlemen, happy people members, we must count down. If you have a WhatsApp, put it on a status. If you have a Facebook, share it to there. If you have an Instagram, make a cool picture to say that we are counting down, we have not forgotten. And we are listening and we are watching and we are going to have things to say if we play that first game with Mandla and Gazi.
Yes. Non-starter, KP.
Okay, let me go through the poll before we close here. It was 11 votes on the Moremi question. 91% say yes, he will be a good signing, and only 9% probably a Makosi say I'm kidding. No, I'm a Buccaneer. If you're a Buccaneer and you feel like Moremi won't be a good signing, I understand you. It's a game of opinions. 9% say that, yeah, well, he won't be a good signing. I'm not happy with 11 votes, but
fans, I can guarantee you that that person, if we won or by 2,
Moremi, not Mutuma.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Rikeke, Makopa stands. Yeah, okay. Well, Mr. Coach, enjoyed doing this late night express breaking news Buccaneer brief show with you. And I hope, thank you very much, Spoo, for asking us the hard hitting questions and everything.
I always have one more thing.
What you got, Mr. Coach? What you got?
No, I just want to give a quick shout out to Matwadla. We were having a conversation about Butuma. In fact, he had actually brought it to light for us that he had been linked, I think, a few days ago by Unplayable, and he did say that maybe we'll be getting him. So I just want to give him a shout out because it did help us. It helped us know about the link, and I think the very next day, the news broke that he had been signed. So shout out to him.
Shout out to you, Matwadla. Shout out to everybody who's been watching. Don't forget to hit the like, hit the subscribe to be notified. And also don't forget, there's that bell thing. When you click it, press all, and then you won't miss anything. And then, of course, share Buccaneer so we can grow the community. Tanko Mbutuma, Tanko Moremi. Really, don't go anywhere, please. Tanko.